contraction. The very first step, you're gonna have the action potential. It's gonna come to the voltage gated calcium channel and open it up. That causes calcium to come in and go and bind to the vesicles that contain the ACH, acetylcholine. The acetylcholine now is gonna move towards the synaptic cleft and go and bind to the ligand gated sodium channel. Once that occurs, the sodium that's in the synaptic cleft is now able to enter, go through the T tubules, and accumulate. The positive charge from the sodium is then going to cause the calcium that's in the SR, that's to the endoplasmic reticulum. It's going to cause that to go to the troponin, because positive repels positive. It's going to go to the troponin. Once bound to the troponin, it's going to cause the tropomyosin to move and allow the myosin heads to bind to the actin holes. However, it can't do that without ATP because it needs the energy. So through the ATP hydrolysis, the ATP is going to bind to the myosin head, which will cause it to do the power stroke, or as he said, as the professor said, the dock stroke. I'm gonna take a look right here, so then you can see the actual head is gonna bind to actin, and it's gonna do a pulling motion. All the myosin are in an aggregate line. They're all beneath one another. And the myosin are being held by the M line, which is also in the H zone. The actin, on the other hand, have the same concept. The actin are all going to be held by the Z discs, and in between the Z discs is the sarcomere. That's the actual area that's contracting. And the area with just actin is called the I band. The overlapping area where the head is going to connect to the actin from the myosin head is going to connect to the actin, that would be called the A band. That's the actual contracting phase, is when it starts to pull across on each other, when they're contracting. Everything preceding this was the excitation contraction. Now, we've already done that. The muscle's contracted, we need to go back. How does that happen? So, we want to go to relaxation. The way to do that, you got your best friend here, Pac-Man. He's awesome. And he's upside down, so that's cool. Acetylcholine esterase. He's gonna come and eat the acetylcholine. You wanna take a look right here? He's gonna come and eat the acetylcholine esterase. Once that's gone, there's no more of a pileup of sodium trying to enter. So without the push of sodium in, they all wanna leave because they were being pushed in there actively, forcibly. So the sodium is gonna go back through the T tubule out into the synaptic cleft. Once that happens, there's no positive charge repelling the calcium. So the calcium is going to go back into the SR. It naturally goes to the endoplasmic reticulum. And it's going to chill there because there's little proteins that have a negative charge that attract them. Now, as you can see, the troponin no longer has the calcium bound to it. So it's going to move the tropomyosin to cover the heads on the actin. Therefore, the actin no longer has the myosin heads in it because they're pulling off. So everything returns to its normal state. As well as the original calcium that we had used from the get-go, they go back to the cistern. And that's where they pull together and wait for another action potential to come back and restart the whole process.